Welcome back, everybody. Hello. So today we are going to be going through exactly what it is that we're looking at. There's not really huge amounts happening. We obviously have to speak about the Ethereum merge, but there's not really too much going on in terms of some of the pricing. We'll go into what we can expect later on tomorrow and what kind of how that might affect our trading today. But overall, guys, as you know, Ethereum merge, everyone's getting excited by it. We're now having more of a pump. It's kind of a buy the rumor, sell the news type event, isn't it, AJ?
Yeah. We are seeing Ethereum have a nice pump, and that is actually bringing the dominance down as well, because we aren't actually seeing Bitcoin have any sort of major pump, but we are seeing that in Ethereum. So since yesterday, what's the date today? So the date is the 6th today. Sorry. So since yesterday, we have had a nice little pump of around 7%. And yeah, we can see the dominance coming down as well, which of course we will talk about that today as well.
Yes, exactly. We will. So we'll just, I'll bring this up here so you can all have a quick look at it. Like I said, not really too much going on in terms of the rest of the cryptos, and obviously the dominance being pulled down because Ethereum is pumping, but Bitcoin just isn't really, still stuck around that kind of that mental 20K level. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. But here we are, as we see first stage of Ethereum merge, biggest thing in crypto since Bitcoin goes live, which is, this is unbelievable actually. Now, so what's happened is we have had the first phase called Bellatrix, has kind of set the stage for blockchains, for the Ethereum or the blockchains merge with another decentralized ledger named the Beacon Chain. Now, just have a look through here. We knew that we were going through Ropsten, then we went through Sepolia, then we went Gurley, and so now here we are at this level here. So Bellatrix has now entered the stage. And so we're going to be moving on to this proof of stake blockchain, beacon chain, I should say. And then as you can see, moving down here, when this does happen, expected to be around about, was it 15th or 16th? Was it, AJ?
It's between the 13th and the 15th, if I'm correct. Let me just double check. Yeah, 13th and 15th of September.
So around about there, but then we're looking at a 99.95% reduction in energy. That is insane. Yeah. That is insane. And you can see why. If you're like a big institutional investor and you're only allowed to invest in things that are environmentally friendly, you're probably not going to be looking at these proof of work chains very heavily.
No.
But just wanted to kind of mention that. And then also what we are seeing is obviously this might not have been necessarily predicted, because in the past, notice these ones that are pumping. So Solana's pumping quite hard. Luna Classic is also pumping quite hard, trending also on Twitter. But then we see the likes of Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. Look how much liquidations they've been through in the past 4 hours. It's absolutely insane. So, this kind of catches all people off guard. But to be honest, it's just before you get a big bit of news, of course, everyone's going to be buying it, So I do think that we might see a pullback from this, and we can obviously look at that in a second. And I'm just going to wrap up here on what's happening in the traditional world, really. So basically, not really too much. Small pump in the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. That's kind of it. And yeah, everyone talking about the UK, etc. But I don't really think that's going to be moving the price of Bitcoin too much. Let's have a look at. Should we go for the DXY first, since we're on these traditional markets, AJ?
Yeah, well, I was actually going to bring up the S&P whilst you were on it. So taking a quick look at that S&P, we are having, as you said, a little push towards the upside. The reason for that is because we are at this daily level that you can see right here, this blue level. This has been previous support, previous resistance twice there, and previous support when we were above it back there as well. So this is going to be a very important level. And as you know, if you've been watching the channel for a while now, I've been talking about this scenario that the guy from The Big Short has actually no, it wasn't him who did it. I forgot the guy's name, but he's calling this very, very similar situation to. Here we go. No, that's the guy from The Big Short. This one here, a very similar situation to the 2008 crash. So we've had the rejection from the 200 MA, and we've broken the support exactly like we did in 2008. And what is holding the price of the S&P 500 up right now is this daily level. So this is the critical level for the S&P 500. If we can bounce off of this level and come back up to this previous support, which will then act as resistance, this will be very, very good for the crypto markets. But if we do break below this daily level, then obviously that's going to be very bad for the crypto market, because the crypto market does follow the traditional market very well. And talking about the DXY, we've spoke about the DXY a lot recently because it is very, very important. I've showed you, when the DXY goes down, as you can see from the 14th of July to the 11th of August here, Bitcoin does actually go up. So you can see Bitcoin from the 14th of July to the 11th of August, Bitcoin went up, but when Bitcoin went down, the DXY was actually going up and is currently still going up. We're looking at this bearish divergence. Yes, there's bearish divergence all over this DXY chart. There's bearish divergences on the daily chart as well, but we're not seeing a reaction from them. So you can see that we've had a number of bearish divergence here form. So we've had higher highs there, lower lows here as well. That didn't get much of a reaction at all to that bearish divergence. We also saw another one here. We got no reaction to that. The price decided to increase as well. We have another bearish divergence forming here as well. So you can see higher highs and lower lows on the RSI, momentum towards the downside on that RSI, but we're not getting a reaction yet. The DXY just still wants to increase, which is obviously bad for the crypto markets. If we do see the DXY continue to push, then we are most likely going to see Bitcoin dump. Right now, Bitcoin isn't moving much at all. We have just been going sideways. Looking at the shorter time frames on this 4 hour, what we can see is we're actually forming some sort of symmetrical triangle. Maybe it's not symmetrical, maybe it's just a triangle, but some sort of triangle that we are forming here. So a break up of the resistance here could take us up to around $20,500. But a breakdown could bring us down to these lower targets of maybe around 19,000. So this is a pattern that I am going to be keeping you up to date with, keeping you aware of. But yeah, that's it really for Bitcoin. Nothing too exciting. Just that 20,000 level. We are finding very strong, very, very strong resistance around this area, around that $20,500 level. As you can see, lots of previous resistance up here. We just can't seem to get above this level, and it's not very fun for us because the price is just sort of ranging between 20,500 and 19,500. So again, we're just trading within $1,000 range. We have been doing this for a while now, but what we've done this a few times. But what we do tend to see once we break that range, we've broken the range right here. We did see a pretty substantial move, so I do expect to see a big move once we do break this $1,000 range again. So that's everything for Bitcoin. As I said, nothing too exciting until we potentially break this triangle here. But we do actually have, as I've mentioned multiple times, that $19,000 level. Hopefully there's going to be major support. Well, it is major support, but hopefully we can find support for the bullish case to play out. But if we do break that, then 12,000 is on the table. But I'm thinking, what everyone wants to look at right now is sort of what's happening with Ethereum, because Ethereum is having that push towards the upside. Obviously, we have this rising wedge here, which broke towards the downside. Not all the price targets were met, because then we did form this falling wedge pattern that did break towards the upside. Took some time to get some momentum to push it towards the upside, but I think this Ethereum merge is actually what is pushing this price up. But as you said, Ben, you are expecting a little pullback. That is very possible. I think a little bit more upside before we have a pullback is what we could see, because we do have this major resistance here. So I think we could come up to this resistance, which starts at $1,700 approximately and ends at $1,800 approximately. But this has been a major resistance and support level. So as you can see back here, major support when we were below it, major resistance right here before breaking above it. Then we broke back down below it and we used it as resistance here, literally to the dollar. and then we got that rejection. So I do think we could come up and test this resistance here. Obviously, it's very strong resistance, so we could see a pretty harsh rejection from that level, or we could break above it. And if we do break above it, the next levels we can look at are these levels here around the $2,000 level, because what happened last time we broke above this is that we came straight up to that $2,000 level. Again, back here, when we found support along this level right here, we did actually come and bounce up to this $2,000 level. So I would expect to get to the $2,000 level if we did break above the resistance level. But if we got a rejection, then I do think we are going to see another pullback in the price of Ethereum. So that's sort of all I've got for you for the technical side of things. Again, Bitcoin, nothing too exciting happening there. We do just want to see a breakout of this triangle pattern. But Ethereum, I do think we could make it up to this resistance before potentially seeing a pullback. If we do break above it, then the $2,000 level is a level that I'm looking at. But right now, the market is just waiting on the DXY, waiting to see whether we can get another push towards the upside, or if we break below this resistance. As I said earlier, if we get a push towards the upside, then we are most likely going to see the crypto market have another leg towards the downside. But if we can break this previous resistance, now support, then we can most likely have a push in that crypto market. Another thing I want to mention quickly is the dominance. The dominance is actually breaking this support level. Now, it's not confirmed yet because this is the weekly chart. We do have 5 days and 12 hours left until this weekly candle does end. But if we do break this, then we could see a pretty big altcoin season. Now, I don't expect to see this break if we do see the price of Bitcoin continue to come down. If we do see the price of the DXY continue to go up and the price of Bitcoin continues to come down, I do expect to find support along this level and then make its way maybe back up to that resistance level up here at around 47%. But yeah, if we do actually sort of establish a bottom around this area and the DXY does come down, then we could potentially have a massive altcoin season if we do get this break of this support on the dominance. But we do need those confirmations that we have established that bottom. And we also need the confirmation that the DXY is going to have that pullback. And we need a pretty substantial pullback, I do think, on that DXY down to that $104 level before we could see any major moves within Bitcoin and the crypto market. So I'm going to keep you updated with this as well. As I said, it's not confirmed yet because we still do have 5 days, 12 hours left, and a lot can happen in that time.
Yeah, and I'm just going to mention this here. So having a quick look at what's going on this week. So today there's not really too much coming on. We have the ISM, non-manufacturing numbers. Doesn't really affect the markets too much, to be honest. Just kind of, it's like a good indication of so basically purchasing demand. But one thing that I do want to mention is coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow we have the GDP growth rate for Australia and also the Eurozone, and then a balance of trade from Canada. Not really too much going on here. The Bank of Canada interest rate decision probably will be kind of interesting. And then I think this is going to, again, it's just that level of uncertainty in the international markets. So where are you going to put your money? You'll probably put it into something like the dollar. So hence why we might see the DXY come up. And then, to be honest, the rest of the similar story for the rest of the week. So seeing this, but we do have. What is it? Yes. So this is, bear in mind, 13th of September. So this is in a week, guys, a week. We have this inflation number. Now, the reason why I mentioned what's coming up here with the GDP data from Eurozone is that this is going to be released before the Americans can do anything about their trading, basically, because of the time zones. So this is actually going to be pretty crazy in terms of this will be released, like I said, when the Americans are pretty much asleep. The Wall Street, the stock exchange is not open. So they might begin to factor this in towards the end of their trading day tonight. So that's something to kind of be aware of. And then, like I said, we're going to have this. And I think over the weekend, we'll probably see quite a nice environment for Bitcoin. If we do see the DXY continue to go up here and here, maybe over the weekend, we get a bit of a relief. And then obviously we've got our core inflation data coming in like a week's time. So that's going to be something that everyone is looking at extremely closely,
Yeah.
because we've had the jobs report, and once we have this, then this is going to be like the decider for what the Fed are going to do. But yeah, I think for the moment, DXY probably does look to be getting a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we might.
Just
It's not looking good, Brev.
yeah, just to add on to that as well, as you said, with with it looking quite likely that the DXY is going to continue to come up fundamentally, on the fundamental side of things. Looking at the technicals, we do have these bearish divergences, but obviously the fundamental news is going to overpower these bearish divergences that we can see on the technicals. If we do get bullish fundamental news for the DXY, then it is most likely going to ignore all of these bearish divergences and continue its rally towards the upside, which it's very, very close to 110 again. As I said in yesterday's stream, it hasn't been this high since May 2002. So a very, very long time. But yeah, it doesn't, as Ben said, it doesn't look too good. And if the DXY continues to come up, we are going to see crypto traditional markets come down as well.
Yes, which I hope it doesn't happen. I really hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I want us to be able to I want us to get excited about something.
There's two sides of me. I want it to go down because I can buy more for cheaper, but then I want it to go up because I want to see my portfolio looking good again.
Yeah. I want to earn money, but I also want to be able to buy more now.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, just another little indicator here. So this is obviously not. This is not, the golden goose, shall we say? But looking overall, so this is just an indicator from Daily FX. Wall Street says bearish. Crude oil looking down, and then we can look at some of these different assets, but probably won't. But yeah, so overall, it's kind of uncertain. I don't think we're going to have a huge amount of movement. We probably will towards the end of the day, like I said. So we might be some good trading opportunities in the earlier part of today, and then as we kind of go through that, we might begin to see people kind of hold off and kind of get into more of the DXY later in the day.
Yeah, definitely.
There we go.
Yeah, as we've been telling you, if the DXY keeps going up, then we are going to see that pullback within crypto. So yeah, just be very aware of that. If you're thinking of taking any long positions, make sure you pull up the DXY chart as well and keep a very, very close eye on that. Of course, we'll keep you updated on that as well. And if you do enjoy the video, please smash a like as well. I do really appreciate it. Ben really appreciates it as well, and it really does help out the channel. So if you could do that.
That's fantastic. And also subscribe.
Yeah.
Doesn't get better than that, really, does it? Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, guys. Thank you for watching.